You are lying in a hospital bed today, surrounded by doctors, machines, and medicine. But go back 100,000 years, the same human body, the same dangerous moment, the same risk, except there is no hospital, no surgery, no ultrasound, no emergency room. Just a small group of humans around a fire trying to help one person survive the moment that every human life begins with. And somehow they did. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans gave birth without the technology we consider essential today. The real mystery is how humans overcame a danger built into our own biology. The answer is stranger than most people realize. Most people imagine ancient childbirth as dangerous because humans lacked medicine. But that is only part of the story. The deeper problem started much earlier, inside the human body itself. Humans are unusual animals. We walk on two legs, we have enormous brains, and our babies are born highly dependent. And those three things created a biological conflict. Walking upright required the human pelvis to become narrower and stronger, but bigger brains required babies with much larger heads. Evolution had created a problem. A baby needed a large head to develop a human brain, but the mother had to give birth through a body adapted for walking. This is called the obstetrical dilemma. Scientists have studied this conflict for decades because humans are one of the few mammals where birth is such a complex process. A chimpanzee birth is usually simpler. The newborn can often move through the birth canal with less rotation. Human babies are different. Because of the shape of the human pelvis, babies usually need to rotate during birth to pass safely. The same evolution that allowed humans to run across open landscapes and create civilizations also created a dangerous beginning to life. Think about that. The human brain, the thing that helped our species dominate the planet, also helped make childbirth harder. But this creates a bigger mystery. If childbirth was so challenging, why didn't it stop humans from surviving? The answer begins with something humans had that most animals did not: each other. The biggest misunderstanding about ancient childbirth is that people were alone. They were not. For most of human history, birth was not a private hospital event. It was a community event. Humans are unusual because we cooperate. A woman giving birth was surrounded by people who had knowledge passed down through generations. Mothers, older women, experienced relatives. This is where one of humanity's oldest professions appears, the birth helper. Modern midwives are not a recent invention. Evidence of midwifery exists across many ancient societies. In ancient Egypt, birth was connected with specialized knowledge. Egyptian medical texts, such as the Ebers Papyrus, dating to around 1550 BCE, recorded treatments and medical practices. Ancient Egyptian women also used birth-related knowledge involving plants, positioning, and rituals. But the important thing is not that ancient Egyptians had modern medicine. They did not. The important thing is that humans were collecting knowledge. Every generation learned what positions helped, what plants were useful, what warning signs mattered, how to support someone during labor. A person giving birth thousands of years ago was not facing the moment with zero help. She was standing inside a chain of human experience. And this reveals something surprising. The first tool humans used against childbirth danger was not a machine, it was cooperation. But there was still another problem. Even with helpers, childbirth could become dangerous very quickly, and ancient humans had to find ways to survive when things went wrong. Today, a difficult birth can become a medical emergency. A doctor can perform surgery. A hospital can provide blood. Medicine can prevent infections. Ancient humans had none of these. So what happened when childbirth became dangerous? The answer was often preparation. Human communities developed knowledge through experience, not because they understood bacteria or anatomy like modern science does, but because they observed. They noticed patterns. They learned. Archaeologists have found evidence that ancient humans had surprisingly advanced knowledge of plants, tools, and body care. The famous example is Ötzi the Iceman, a man who lived around 5,300 years ago. When researchers discovered his frozen body in the Alps in 1991, they found that he carried medicinal plants, including birch fungus, which may have been used for health purposes. This does not prove he treated childbirth, but it shows something important. Ancient humans were not helpless. They understood their environment. They experimented. They passed knowledge forward. The same intelligence that helped humans survive freezing winters and dangerous animals also helped them survive the most dangerous moments of human life. But childbirth had another challenge. A mother was not only fighting biology, she was also facing a world where survival depended on the entire group. And that changed everything.
Here is the strange thing about human babies. They are incredibly difficult to raise. A newborn human cannot walk, cannot feed itself, cannot survive alone. Compared with many animals, human babies are helpless for a very long time. But this weakness created one of humanity's greatest strengths: cooperation. Scientists call this idea the cooperative breeding hypothesis. Researchers such as Sarah Blaffer-Erde argued that humans evolved with help from others because raising children required more than one person. Grandparents, family members, community members, everyone could contribute. This may explain why humans developed such strong social bonds. An individual mother was important, but the group increased the chance that both mother and child survived. One of the most fascinating examples is the grandmother hypothesis. Anthropologist Kristen Hawkes studied the Hadza people of Tanzania and suggested that older women increased family survival by helping gather food and support children. The idea is powerful. Human life did not continue only because young adults survived. It continued because generations helped each other. A baby was never just one person's responsibility. It belonged to a community. And that may be one of the biggest reasons humans survived childbirth for thousands of generations. Today, childbirth looks completely different. Hospitals, doctors, medicine, technology. Modern birth has transformed something that was once extremely dangerous into something much safer. But the strange thing is, the human story behind it has not changed. Every person watching this video exists because someone before them survived childbirth. Not once, not twice, millions of times across human history. Somewhere in your own family line, a person gave birth without the tools we consider necessary today. Someone survived without advanced medicine. Someone survived because humans did something extraordinary. They helped each other. The story of childbirth is not only the story of danger, it is the story of cooperation. It is the story of knowledge passed from one generation to another.
It is the story of how humans survived, not because we were the strongest animals, but because we were the animals that learned how to protect each other. So the next time you look at a newborn baby, remember something strange. That tiny human represents hundreds of thousands of years of survival. Every person alive today is evidence that someone before them made it through one of the most difficult moments in human life. What part of ancient human survival would surprise you the most? Share it in the comments.